Hello everybody and welcome to the Duel Links Character Collection Series Part 6. This time we're unlocking all characters in Arc V world or Arc 5 or whatever it is. Most of the time I call it Arc 5. First we have to unlock the world itself by summoning a level 7 or higher dragon monster. Even if you didn't start with Seto, you have at least two viable options: DSOD Seto's Blue Eyes White Dragon and DM Joey's Red Eyes Black Dragon. Summoning one of them isn't really a big deal. You could go into the Odd Eyes Challenger structure deck right now for Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, but I am going to wait until stage 6. Yuya was our starting character and his best friend is Gong. Yuya beats Gong and fusion summons twice against him. We also synchro summon 3 times. The synchro summons were done against standard duelists. Even without Stardust Dragon, I would have solid options like the level 7s from Future Horizon. The 2 fusions against Gong should be the 2 copies of our regular old Elemental Hero Inferno from the Hero Rising structure deck. Alternatively, pair Psychroid and Flame Wingman you likely have at this point. No level requirement means I target him at level 10 with a deck that's capable of fusion summons. Facing the usual issue of having to wait for all the necessary pieces while he thins out his deck with his super heavy samurais. Gong is another one of those characters needed for future stage ups and therefore easily unlockable like Chess, Akiza and Bronk before him. You can tell this unlock happens before taking care of the GX characters because I have to use the 2 alternate art structure deck polymerizations for the lack of regular poly, which I prefer. Quite a few unlockable characters have poly in their starter deck, mostly GX characters. But I know of a character in this world who also has a polymerization. However, we do not have to deal with this character until much later. One point though, said character has to be unlocked before Shay Obsidian. Back to Gong. From Duel Links alone, I would not like him because referring to himself in third person all the time irritates me. Also, I got beaten by super heavy samurais quite a few times. After checking out the series and watching his voice actor during a scripted duel against Jack's voice actor, I softened up quite a bit. We just fusion summoned our first monster, that means one more to go. This duel is over once we draw into another copy of Lady Heat. Fusion recovery would work too. His one extra deck monster is the level 5 synchro monster Super Heavy Samurai Swordmaster Musashi, which he rarely summons against me. Level 10 Gong, that is. When you unlocked him and want to have some lifetime skills, there is only one as of now: United Pendulums. And for that, you need Gong to summon 3 level 7 or higher machines in a single duel. That would be Big Ben K from his starting skill, Bandit Keith's Barrel Dragon and Crowler's Ancient Gear Golem. Now that would be the guaranteed options. Stuff like Ally of Justice Lightgazer from King's Resonance is fine too. Now it is time to purchase another structure deck, the Odd Eyes Challenger. Another 1000 gems, but they are well spent. We get an alternate art Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, which has to be summoned quite a bit, some beasts for Girax missions, a lot of pendulum stuff, and, most importantly, Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon. You've seen this one in action and it has really been a helpful card. Also, we collect an XYZ monster and more for certain character unlock missions. Dark Rap as an XYZ is good for Yuto's unlock and at least 3 of his lifetime skills, as you are going to notice yourself. I am sure that you don't need a structure deck to tackle the unlocks. It helped me and made quite a few missions easier. If you don't want to buy it, you don't have to, but I own a copy of the deck now. Next is Sylvio. He is the one hidden character in this world. Yuya beats him 3 times, we score 4000 or more points after a duel against him, and Yuya pendulum summons 3 times against him. The hidden requirement is gaining a total of 500,000 duel assessment points after Arc 5 duels. Don't remember how long it took me this time, but during the character collection challenge I spent about 120 duels and the better part of 3 days on that. Unfortunately, Friend Duel Cheese was off the table as you don't get points after those. I could have played other PvP duels like Rank to be done faster, but I didn't want to. So it came down to standard duelists, legendary duelists and the Vagabond. Even after a loss you gain points, so persistence gets you there. As Yuya was my only character for a while, he got a lot of experience points from all of those duels. When I hit stage 6, I decided to go for several character missions first, as I was guaranteed some duel assessment points from those as well. And while clearing missions, I conquered Sylvio's unlock requirement. In this first 3 duels against him, I want to pendulum summon 3 times and earn 4000 duel assessment points. That means I probably should leave the dual score screen in after this one. I will beat him 2 more times off-screen to complete the unlock. Sylvio currently can get 3 lifetime skills, Pendulum Change Basic, for Pendulum Summoning 5 times in total, Pantheist Revelation for Tribute Summoning twice in one duel, and United Pendulums for summoning 3 level 7 or higher fiends in one. The forms of Yubel come to mind. Otherwise, Yamibakura's Dark Necrophere, base form Yubel, and Sylvio's Abyss Actor Superstar would work. The latter two can be tribute summoned, clearing one of the other lifetime skill requirements. Masked Beast Des Guardians and Earthbound Immortal Cuckoo Pekapoo also do the trick for some high-level fiends. Besides that, Monster Reborn and A Feather of the Phoenix can contribute like always during missions like these. You see, even as a free-to-play person and without spending any in-game resources, you can tick off those lifetime skill missions. I am dragging this duel out in hope for a good duel score. The mission requires 4000 and we will get 4100. As I mentioned for Crow's hidden requirement, stacking points is easy. Win the duel after summoning Obelisk and using the result booster item. In this duel we Link summoned, XYZ summoned, Tribute summoned and Pendulum summoned. We played a Prismatic and a Glossy card, used a spell and special summoned. With the 2000 from winning we will end up with 4100 as I said. Back to his hidden requirement for a few seconds. I went for 3000 to 4000 after each duel, emphasizing quantity of the duels over individually high scores through farming. Would be 50 to 60 vessel farms. I had more and shorter duels, usually trying for a quick victory. Most of the hidden requirements are lengthy and tedious, like 300 trap activations, but I feel that 500,000 duel score points are ridiculous. And for this one, those had to be in this world. Unlike the others, other worlds did not count here. Moving on to Yuto. Yuya summons Odd Eyes against level 30 Yuto and we inflict 2000 points with one attack. We also collect 3 XYZ monsters. Against Yuto we summon 2 Synchros and 2 Fusions in a single duel each. XYZ monsters are collected through various means. If you brought this world to stage 6 before unlocking the Zexal characters, Baby Terragon and Neo Galaxy Eyes make 2/3 of that mission. Dark Wrap from the Odd Eyes Challenger structure deck, and you got this mission without spending precious additional resources or dedicating extra time to it. Yuya's starting skill turns this deck into a 23-card pile, and finding the lone Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon would be horrible. Instead, I can avoid using this skill and rely on my own copy of Odd Eyes, obtained from the structure deck. Different Dimension Capsule helps grabbing it. In this duel though, I should go for 2000 damage, Synchros and Fusions as he is at level 20 and Odd Eyes is for level 30 Yuto. So we won 3 missions now, Odd Eyes against him at level 30 in the next duel, and we collected the 3 XYZ monsters for a 2-duel unlock. At least this duel was for free. Thinking about the level 30 duel, I may use Yuya's skill to add Stargazer and Time Gazer alongside an Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon to put my copy from the structure deck in there as well. Yes, it will be a 23-card pile, but then I have 2 copies of Odd Eyes, ultimately almost doubling my chances of seeing one in a reasonable amount of time. Something I am going to do against other characters as well if they have a Summon Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon mission. We kept 2 monster zones empty for the 2 fusion monsters, but getting rid of your monsters by linking them away works just fine too. In fact, I frequently summon Gaia Saber in those types of situations just to clear some zones. His Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon, by the way, can ruin your day if you don't have access to proper back row and are unable to play more than one monster per turn. He also thins out his deck with Phantom Knights, trying to push for power plays. If I just had to beat him at level 30, this deck thinning would not concern me too much, but I have to play a specific card. If I don't get a copy of Odd Eyes in time, I wasted keys and have to try again. The solution may once more lie in our different dimension capsules searching Odd Eyes in the next duel. Yuto himself is needed to unlock Yugo, who then unlocks Celina, so Yuto is sort of responsible for 2 unlocks. That is one of the reasons I went for his unlock early. Imagine Yugo or Celina spawns in the world and I can't do anything with them. Wouldn't that be horrible? The last mission left is to have Yuya summon Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon against level 30 Yuto. So let's go to the gate and take care of that. The mission does not say anything about winning, so we're golden as soon as Odd Eyes hits the field. But that may be easier said than done, normally. I'm not pendulum summoning it, and instead I have to tribute 2 monsters for the level 7 dragon. That means I have to drop the materials on the field and keep them there. We opened a copy of Orders, which is quite a relief. You might be slightly annoyed by me mumbling on about I may not get a crucial card in time and all. However, it happened to me quite a bit even on this account, and on that background the worries are justified. Anyways, with Orders on the field we could push for game, which is exactly what we do. If I'm not mistaken, that should complete all of Yuto's unlock missions. Starting with this video, I sped up the process of clearing those missions from the top left list, because I thought it all was a little too slow. Our next character shall be Yugo then. Yuto beats him at level 30 and summons Dark Rebellion. Yuya beats him at level 30 and summons Odd Eyes, and we collect 3 synchros. The card trader's regular inventory contains the rare Gigantic Castle, which I can recommend. The changing inventory might have the UR Arrow Mage Rosemary, which won't always be there and requires UR stones you may not have. You might have box chips and can get access to a wide range of synchros. Could be worth it. Going into structure decks is an option, but I usually crack open some packs of Future Horizon for some low rarity synchros, which besides Gigantic Castle from the card trader seems like one of the better options in my opinion. So let's assume that getting synchro monsters is not an issue. What about the other missions then? Dark Rep is a generic rank 4 that is added to Yuto's extra deck by his starting skill, but I got my own copy from the Orders Challenger structure deck. When you can stick 2 level 4 monsters on the field, Dark Rep can be summoned easily, and level 30 Yugo is not a mean guy, pretty much letting you build your board if you have some protective back row. The Yuto missions can be done in a single level 30 duel. Yuya needs to win against him at level 30 and summon Orders Pendulum Dragon. Like I normally do in these missions, I hard draw into the dragon to tribute summon it. Not as easy as Dark Rep, but still doable. Or we obliterate him at level 30 and go for a level 10 duel. The reason I did it here was that I ran out of protective back row and chose to take what I could get. Swapping to Yuto, and I would like to demonstrate the simplicity of the 2 missions I was talking about earlier. Summon Dark Rep and beat him at level 30. At this difficulty, Yugo plays 2 synchro monsters, one of which is the level 5 high speed Tragoida with 2000 attack points. If you can turbo out a stronger monster like Dark Rep, you should be fine for the most part. He is pretty good at bringing out his synchro monsters, but besides that should not pose a big threat, as he does not interrupt you. Of course, the game needs to be on your side as well. I cannot summon Dark Rep without a second monster. Speedroids I like quite a bit and am learning the deck right now. Main account was able to craft a fairly competitive version built after a blueprint provided by Team 6K. I'm a big fan of Crystal Wing, respect Clear Wing, and enjoy Kite Drake. Speedroids may no longer be a meta deck, but I like to have them regardless. However, you may not want to spend all your new account's resources on this one deck. My main account has been active for over 4 years, and that's a lot of time to build some decent decks. On a new account, you may only be able to craft 1 or 2 strong decks at a time. Decide for yourself what those should be. My main account is trying to make playable themed decks for every character, like Speedroids for Yugo, Melodious for Zuzu, Lunar Lights for Celina, Resonators for Jack, Cellmangrades for Soulburner, and so on. Apparently, the summon of Orders Pendulum Dragon against him happened off-screen, but you saw this against level 30 Yuto before. The next character I want to unlock is Celina. Yugo comebacks level 30 Celina, we collect 3 fusion monsters, activate 3 traps in one duel against her, have Yugo summon Clear Wing and another level 7 or higher dragon synchro monster in that same duel. At this point I don't have Stardust Dragon from the Stardust Nexus structure deck. Instead I go for a different one. Shopping time! Future Horizon's cover card is Stardust Spark Dragon, a guy that I wanted to have regardless. But so far I didn't get it. Giving it another shot. There it is. Into the deck you go, dude. It's generic, so summoning it shouldn't be impossible. Okay, so Sparky helps with 1 of the missions, but we still need 3 fusions. Card Trader offers Dragon Master Knight as if, a Dream Mirror you likely cannot summon, Shining Flare Wingman, and a few others. Not too great. You could go into your normal and rare card tickets, filter for fusions and get 3 weak ones like Marvelous or Steam Gyroid. If you've been waiting on Hero Rising, you get 2 copies of Inferno. Sometimes you may end up getting fusions as drops after duels in the duel score screen. Plenty of options, and I only mentioned a few. Celina showed up at level 30 in the world, which is the reason I went after Yuto and Yugo early. The comeback victory is on the line, and against Lunar Lights I rather not apply the open arm strategy. Instead, I run into her 2000 defense Yellow Marten to lower my life points while maintaining field presence. We clear her field, and once we are able to take 4000 life points, we can go in for game. Besides the comeback, Mr. Clearing, and the 2 dragon synchros, there also is the mission for activating 3 traps in one duel against Celina. This type of mission belongs to those I tend to overlook, and then I wonder why the unlock is incomplete. Something that helps is using the laptop's notepad function to write the missions down, and then having the notes open while dueling. Whenever I clear a mission, I can delete it from the notes, which can be quite satisfying. My tuner of choice in this duel is once again Junk Changer, which comes along as level 3 but can become a level 4, thus enabling level 7 and 8 synchros at any time. Quite a versatile tuner in this situation. It wouldn't have been mandatory for clearing, as Yugo's skill adds the level 3 tuner Speedroid Triad dice for clearing summon, and our usual Angel Trumpeter assists in bringing out Stardust Spark Dragon. A tuner that can be used for both has more versatility though. By the way, if Yugo beats Yuto with clearing at any point, you'll get a lifetime skill, Speedroid Gear Changer. Celina can get a lifetime skill of her own by summoning level 7 or higher Beast Warrior fusions 4 times in total. This skill goes by the name of Lunar Light Alleviation and is a skill you actually want for your Lunar Light deck. Meanwhile, we cleared all of Celina's missions and can unlock her. If you level her up to 11, you get a copy of Lunar Light Leo Dancer that you can summon once to obtain the summon animation for it. Sora comes next. Yuya beats him at level 30, Pendulum summons twice against him, summons Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, brings out 2 XYZ monsters in one duel, and summons a rank 7 or higher. While it is possible to clear all missions in just one duel, I recommend separating the level 30 win from a level 10 duel in which we do the rest. For us, however, Sora showed up at level 20. Not ideal, but we can try to go for some missions for free. Yuya's starting skill, as you know by now, adds an Odd Eyes to the deck. A few more pendulum monsters make sure we can pendulum summon. I have my own copy of Odd Eyes in there and could overlay both pendulum dragons into Odd Eyes Raging Dragon that I got from the Lifetimes card list. Some Red Eyes Black Dragons are in there to help with Raging Dragon's XYZ summon, so that I'm not relying on seeing both pendulum dragons. After pendulum summoning twice, making either Kachi or Dark Wrap, and going for Raging Dragon with 1 Odd Eyes, we clear 4 missions. Now that would be quite effective. The pendulum cards, like mentioned before, are from leveling up Yuya and the Odd Eyes Challenger structure deck. Stargazer and Time Gazer were added by his starting skill, but one of them can only be placed in a pendulum zone if I don't control any monsters. Drawing it halfway through the duel makes it a dead card. Also, both magicians have their scale become 4, unless we have a magician card in the second pendulum zone as well. Therefore, they are not compatible with most performer pals and basically just pair up with each other. Try to get 2 specific cards out of a 23 card pile with your opening hand. Once you have a monster on the field, they become useless anyways. Thus, I'm preferring performer pals when a mission demands pendulum summons. Sora was the one Arc 5 character I mentioned before who has a polymerization in his starter deck. We need him to unlock Shay and will then be able to use Shay for the Dennis McField unlock. You could say that Sora makes 2 character unlocks possible. I also want to have him soon to be able to pump experience into him. I am looking for a copy of Edge M Saber that we can get as a level up reward, and it is needed to summon Frightful Bear, which, besides the summon animation, gives us a lifetime skill. Summon it with Sora and beat Yuya up. Also, that is one of 10 fusion summons for Sora's second lifetime skill. Double Spike Shields for a quick win here. Since level 30 Sora was another world spawn, we got him in 2 duels without using a single gate key. We're about to take on a few complicated character unlocks. And the next one will already be rough. In fact, I think he's one of the more difficult ones in this world. Moving on to Declan. Yuya beats him at level 30, summons 3 level 7 or higher dragons in one, fusion summons twice in one, XYZ summons twice in one, pendulum summons twice in one duel each, all against Declan. What's so difficult about that, you may wonder? Just challenge him at level 10 and do the missions, silly. Well, it's not that easy. Monsieur Akaba at level 10 likes to play a certain card to finish himself off after just a few turns, like trying to catch a Politoad and it uses Perish Song. We need a lot of cards that we may not get in time to clear the mission before his contract's detrimental effect takes him out. I want to fusion summon twice and summon 3 high-level dragons. Those are the Blue Eyes White Dragons once more. He plays the continuous spell Dark Contract with a gate which adds him a DD monster from his deck once per turn, but makes him take 1000 points of damage during each of his standby phases. He could discard Galilei to bounce the contract back, but he only does that if I go after the contract. Back row removal like D-Spell is basically mandatory when I'm going up against level 10 Declan. So him defeating himself and thinning out his deck with contract make this more difficult than it needs to be. To preserve his life points for when the contract comes out, I don't run over his monsters. That, however, allows him to keep tribute material and tribute summon monsters which are stronger than mine. Me playing back row removal means I have less cards for protection. You could be brave and try to combine all the summon missions into one level 10 duel. To me, that does not sound like a great idea, since the fusion materials, polymerization, the high-level dragons, and the pendulum cards take a lot of space and therefore might get into conflict with each other. There is a word for this: inconsistency. I have a second deck on Yuya completely dedicated to pendulum summoning, so I pick it for one mission and try to do the rest in a different duel. Also, Declan at level 30 is a competent opponent, and in that level 30 duel I would not mess with him. So my structure for unlocking him usually involves 3 or 4 duels. One level 30 win, one level 10 with pendulums, and 1 or maybe 2 more level 10s for the rest. Level 30 Declan beat me in the past, so if it happens to you, don't worry. I went through that. You can try again because NPCs, besides the Vagabond, beating you may happen, but most of the time it's just a fluke. Try again and you will eventually win. Sometimes they only have one card or combo piece to save them and end up with it. Seems to be a general problem, as it also happens in Stardust Accelerator, Reverse of Arcadia, and Over the Nexus more often than it should. Back to Declan. He has a few lifetime skills on the list. His starting skill adds DDD, Doom King Armageddon. When he beats Yuya with it, he gets the skill Forbidden Contract. By summoning 3 level 7 or higher fiends in one duel, he, just like Sylvio, can claim United Pendulums. If you let him pendulum summon 5 times, again like Sylvio, you receive Pendulum Change Basic. Finally, if Declan activates continuous spells 20 times, he gets Emergency Contract Laundering. This one obviously is supposed to be achieved with the Dark Contract spells. I, however, drop all 7 of my normal spells and traps to put 5 continuous spells like Banner of Courage and 2 back row removal like D-Spell in. Then I pick an easy opponent, activate 2, remove them for space, and play the remaining 3. That's 5 per duel and 4 duels to get the skill. Also, activating a total of 30 continuous spells grants you the lifetime card Hamon, Lord of Striking Thunder, and going for Declan's lifetime mission helps with getting there. But then again, you're not obliged to obtaining any lifetime skills. Even if you want a DDD deck on your new account, you may end up using a certain skill. In that case, you can disregard all other skills for Declan on the lifetimes list. Moving on, as far as I remember, Declan is not needed for a single character unlock, so we can get him and leave him be until we want to play as him. But first, we need to complete the unlock. The last mission left involves Yuya beating him at level 30. No extra shenanigans like a comeback or quick victory. At level 30, he actually is capable of removing his dark contracts in time, so that he doesn't lose to their effect damage. This means he only gets the benefits, and that is a problem. We, on the other hand, are battle scarred and can hold our own, at least against non-human players. My regular deck, as basic as it is, can deal with him. Like always, we need some luck and all, but I have a little bit of personal history with DDD, mainly because of the Pendulum Domination structure deck that released in 2017. I didn't know the show and thought I wouldn't be able to remove my dark contracts in time, so I put those cards into my binders and left them there for a while until I decided to make a DDD deck. My current version is by no means competitive, but I have fun, still missing extra stuff like Gilgamesh. Declan unlocked, and we continue with Shay. Yuya beats him at level 30 with 1000 or less life points remaining. Pendulum summons twice in one duel against him, summons or dies Lancer Dragon against Shay, and Sora as well as Crow beat him. That does not look too difficult. Lancer could be a problem, but we have card tickets. Low life points against level 30 sucks, but we do stuff like that all the time. The game plan is to have Yuya duel him twice. In this level 30 duel, we want the low life points win and nothing else. The second duel will be against him at level 10 for missions 2 and 3. Sora and Crow duel him at level 10 too for a cheap and easy win. His ace monster Red Raptor Rice Falcon can give itself attack points equal to a special summoned monster's attack on your side of the field. If I summon Kachi, Rice Falcon will become a 2200 attacker and then it runs over Kachi. So, usually when dueling Shay at level 30, I don't special summon unless I have a way to out Rice Falcon. Its base attack is only 100, so he summons it in defense. As long as I just build my board and don't special summon, it's not a threat. Open arms strategy for the low life points is not something I like to do against Shay, so I play my hieroglyphs for life point control. As a consequence, I have less protective cards in my deck, and of course, hieroglyphs were the only spell traps I got early on. Beating him is not a problem, getting too low life points, however, is. I will get the third copy of Hieroglyph in time and finish the duel in that same turn. Until then, I want to keep his monster zones empty and my field strong, so this can be wrapped up in time. Currently, the only unlock Shay needs to participate in is Dennis McField. My guess is that once they add Rin and Lulu to the gate, he has to step in again. Would make sense for Lulu. Hieroglyph time. Besides taking longer than it needed to, this first one wasn't so bad. And while that was only one mission, leaving 4, the remaining missions can be done against him at level 10, thus being easier. Even if we have to pendulum summon and bring out a specific monster. That monster is always Lancer Dragon, an ultra rare drop from dueling Yuya. Since I did not get one, I deserved one of my ultra rare card tickets to get it. Have plenty of those anyways. I don't think I'm using Lancer for anything else, sadly, which makes the card less worthwhile than, let's say, Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. But the card helps getting Shay without using a character unlock ticket, and that's good enough in my books. Duel number 2, upcoming, this time with my Pendulum deck featuring Lancer. With a deck prepared like this, I hope we're fine. This skill will make it a 23 card deck, and Shay can thin out his own deck even at level 10. We might not get Lancer in time, but let's not assume that from the get-go. We'll be fine. You've seen me pendulum summon before, and I plan on tribute summoning Lancer, so there is nothing new in this duel to talk about. Instead, I would like to discuss Shay's lifetime skills. He currently has 2. If he wins 3 duels with Dark Monsters only, he will get Raider's Rebellion. The second skill requires destroying Yuya with Red Raptor Rice Falcon. While that guy is added to your extra deck when using the starting skill, it is not too easy to summon. The 3 necessary materials have to be level 4 winged beast monsters. Check your inventory right now and then tell me how many good level 4 winged beasts you have. There are a few like the Harpies, a few Black Wings, Rio's Blizzard Falcon or Spirit of the Books, the same stuff we could use for Crow's mission, and a couple of lifetime skills. Speaking of Crow, he is up next. So that means we have to go back into 5D's world and we're on. At this point I have not used Crow for a single duel, so this clip is recorded before unlocking Darksigner Rex. In fact, 5D's world is still stuck at stage 6, so we have none of the stage 10 and 11 characters yet. We don't care so much about 5D's world right now as we want to unlock Shay. No special missions, no tasks, no requirements, just beat him. And what better way than Spike Shields? After this duel, Crow hits level 2 and we can approach the final Shay mission. That, of course, is Sora beating him too. So it's back to Arc 5 world for us. I wanted some lifetime skills for Sora and needed some level up cards. That's the reason he is at level 14 already. For this mission or duel, it does not matter as I beat him with my standard deck anyways. You've seen me destroy Shay 3 times already. What's one more amongst friends? No, seriously, I'm running out of nonsense to talk about. Again, looking forward to the 7th world unlocks when most characters only need like 1 duel. Despite having more characters than Vrains right now, 7's is almost half the length, 13-ish minutes without Asana to 26-ish for Vrains. Goes to show that the 7's unlocks are quite fast. We rush through them. Let's claim the Shay rewards and unlock him, and with his help we shall get Dennis McField. Yuya beats level 30 Dennis 3 times and activates 3 spells against anyone. Shay XYZ summons a rank 4 or higher 2 times. In one, we destroy 5 of his monsters and summon a rank 8 or higher XYZ monster against him. While you could try to squeeze the 5 destructions and the rank 8 summon into a level 30 duel, I advise against that. He, with his special summons and performance trapeze magician, will be tough enough even without extra stuff. Realistically speaking, if we destroy 2 monsters in each of the level 30 duels, we clear a mission. And then we let Shay duel him at level 10. A rank 8 is a rank 4 or higher. So if Shay summons Kachikochi Dragon and a rank 8, we clear the remaining missions. Unfortunately, I am a moron here letting Yuya do the rank 8 and monster destruction missions. That means my stupidity makes this a 5 duel unlock. Whatever. The rank 8, you guessed it, is Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. I let the capsules search my Angel Trumpeters, preparing the level 8 synchros to use them as materials for Neo. Dennis was added to the gate when all the other character unlock in this world had already happened. Therefore, I have access to my late game cards such as Red Dragon Archfiend. By the way, I am activating 3 spells in this duel as Yuya, taking care of another unlock mission. Maybe not necessary, as you can activate 3 spells against any opponent, even easy standard duelists. But it's better if that happens on screen. So this duel clears 3 missions, and while we could have done it differently, I don't mind it. Minimum 4 duels, I have 5 and show 3, so it's not a disaster. While dueling him in real time, I might not have considered combining the missions in a different way. Needlessly complicated. Needlessly over the top. And with Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon on the field, we can finish this duel. So what's left for the unlock? 3 level 30 wins and Shay's 2 XYZ summons. So I want to show 1 level 30 duel and have 2 more off screen. Like usual. Dennis plays a few ancient gears. I get why they did this, but I don't like it. As a boomer, I associate ancient gears with Crowler, and he is not a bad guy. Then Arc 5 happened and all evil foot soldiers started busting out them ancient gears. Those machines used to be rare and special. One special card he plays is Performance Trapeze Magician. It requires 2 level 4 spellcasters as materials. Once I unlock him, I give him the standard deck except the monsters are spellcasters. Then I let him run over level 10 Yuya with Trapeze Magician for the lifetime skill Performage Showdown. You get a Trapeze in his starter deck and 3 more copies from leveling Dennis up. That would be 4 copies in total. We just beat him at level 30 for the first time, or about to do this, so we can now swap to Shay once this duel is over. The standard deck has 2 XYZ monsters, Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon and Kachikochi Dragon. Both are generic rank 4 monsters, and that means we can challenge Dennis at level 10 with our regular deck, summon the 2 dragons and call it an unlock. This shouldn't take long unless the game refuses to give me 4 out of 13 monsters until like turn 12 or so. Stuff like that could happen, but here it doesn't. Since the Neo Galaxy Eyes as a rank 8 or higher was played in a different duel, we don't even need to jump through special hoops here. Jaguar, as my weakest monster, runs over his to keep his field clean and lower his life points without defeating him prematurely. In a few turns we can wrap this up. It is possible to slap the spike shields on his monsters to make him lose less life points when running over them, thus getting 5 monster destructions in before he drops to 0. We could also use them on Dark Rebellion for huge damage. Either way, the duel is over by turn 7, a fast duel by my standards. How hard was it to unlock Dennis McField? Not very. 3 level 30 duels blew because they were the same thing 3 times. The gate key usage would have sucked, but Dennis was added late and I had more than enough. A rank 8 would be an adventure without Neo Galaxy Eyes. You probably rely on Quinton's Dyson Sphere or something if you don't have a rank 8 cause you spent character unlock tickets on Quinton and Mizar. On to our next character. The final one in this world for now is Zuzu at stage 10. She, like Tori, shows up at level 10 and can be dueled without using keys. A lot of talking happens before and after, but the duel itself should be short. One issue I have with Zuzu in this game is a certain stage 14 mission. She has to beat level 30 Yuya with Bloom Diva the Melodious Choir. He is a tough opponent and putting the fusion stuff in weakens my deck. Her skill does not provide proper fusion materials, so you have to go into something like the mini box Masters of Shadow to get more Melodious cards. Besides that, one time Yuya got my Bloom Diva to 0 attack. No more battle damage. Please play something like Power of the Guardians when you're getting there. Anyway, that is Zuzu unlocked. Like in the previous videos, I want to conclude this episode with a character wheel to show you that we are not missing any characters besides the event exclusives. All 11 characters are present. Next time we go into the reigns. Thank you so much for watching.